lead in this cast? I mean, I've kind of started off pretty much every single time. Do you want to open it up this time?
Uh, yeah, I can open it up.
All right, here you go. Floor's yours, Von.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome to Game 4 of the Ultimate Team Tournament. We have the glorious DevM and Hans in the south as Austere and OKW respectively. And in the north, I believe we have...
In the north, we have Isildur playing as the mighty British faction. He's going to be accompanied by Vonasten playing as the Soviets. And of course, Isildur and Vonasten are one game in hand here. It is 2-1 currently in this game 4 in favor of this team. So allies need to make a strong performance on this map, and they will claim the tournament.
Indeed, it'll be interesting to see after how Game 3 went, how tilted they might be in Game 4, especially since they were so close to victory, but were unfortunately defeated by the ultimate Kruppstahl, that is double Stubs into Command Panther, which were well microed by Vonasten and Isildur.
Yeah, they were very well played in that last game, and making use of the Command Panther with the area buffer for units like that. Really good synergy here. Speaking of synergy, DevM and Hans once again moving both teams onto the left-hand side of the map. This did not go well for them in Game 3. In fact, this was the start of a bit of a slippery early game.
Yeah.
But they are going to go again, and actually DevM straight in with the sniper for mass collateral.
Good protection from Hans with both Volk squads staying close by the sniper. However, without any grenadiers for Faust, this Bren carrier could go for the chase on the sniper. I don't think they realize this. Oh, and it looks like he is! Almost gets some damage on the sniper, but smartly pulls back the Bren carrier.
Yeah, Isildur spotted that one quickly. Sniper needs to maximize its time on the field right from the start of the game. The idea, of course, is to get as much manpower, get as many units reinforcing as possible. He's at least getting the conscripts spending munitions early, as Aura is already called to force this unit away. And of course, Sniper, very, very high manpower cost. You do not want to lose that. You do not want to lose that right at the start.
Oh, definitely. If they lost the sniper this early into the game, it would not be good for Axis.
Once again, look at that flank. We saw this in the last game, this really good flank. This time Vonasten getting a decap on resources. Do they have the central VP? And I think that would connect them, maybe? Does the VP connect? I don't think it does, actually.
Sometimes it does, but in this instance,
I don't think it
does
looks like
not, I believe. I want to say it does not.
It looks like it could connect through the south, like here. Do you know what I mean? Through the south west.
Oh, yeah.
Which is interesting, but anyway, we'll leave that. But Sniper from Vonasten is on. He's actually already opened up with a shot. Now, I thought maybe he would try and use this to get a counter snipe. In fact, he's just giving DevM the game straight away.
Yeah. He's not going clown car. He's going sniper. Which is probably a safe bet considering how easy it is to get a Faust off or a Ket and work a kill on this open map. But I'm curious to see who has...
blob at the start. I wonder if they'll go round and try and get that strategic point that will cut loads of the map away. And you see the Raketten stealthed, trying to find the Universal Carrier in a bad position. And that's happened in a lot of the games so far. Needs to be careful. As soon as he goes in that point, it is going to be detected at least I would hope that DevM and Hans, that Isildur and Vonasten know what it is.
Yeah, these Axis blob pushes, while they do have the effect of forcing the allies to fall back, once that huge blob retreats, the Axis have a much less present infantry roundabout to fall back on. So I do see that Hans is laying some mines by the VP, probably to prevent any rushes of the sniper by light vehicles, which is a smart play from Hans. I'm hoping he realized after the last game from floating 500 munitions, laying mines with that float is always a good solution.
You would hope so, but then again, I mean, how many tips do you have to give a top player in the game? Could just be a bad habit.
Yeah. Sometimes you're so distracted with the play itself, you don't realize you're floating so much and you should use it.
Vonasten's already getting tier 3 up. I don't know about you, that feels really early to me.
Oh wow, yeah, that
feels really
That's
early.
like the earliest tier 3 I've ever seen coming up now.
And I'm thinking we could see a T70 on the field at a really good time, and there wouldn't even be... This is...
They just have a raket with it. Like, Hans doesn't have his truck down yet. DevM hasn't even teched up to tier 1 or battle phase 1, and it's just not very. They have a mine and a raket and warfare all the same, but it's that T70 comes out with any serious hard counters from Axis. It'll be able to just bleed constantly until they can get the good counter out.
Well, you see DevM there, he's actually anticipating something like this. Telemines over the right fuel point there, so if he's looking to hold his ground. I always think, you know, the minesweepers are a bit of a giveaway that you've been planting mines. Just seems to be that common thing that the person planting mines tends to have minesweepers in case it happens to them, but it kind of makes you think they're thinking about mines, they're getting mines. And
well, it makes the opponent, if they see the sweeper, they're like, oh, maybe I should get a sweeper as well, you know? When they see that on the battlefield.
So, I mean, I've sometimes made tactical decisions to not do that. Whether or not that's ever worked or paid off, who knows. But we'll see how it works here, whether Vonasten suspects something is up. And very unfortunately, that telemine is in a place that is not kind of active on the field right now. So it's unlikely we see T70 going over that way. It's going to be something that maybe affects the late game. Got just a bunker going up in the base. Vonasten is already building the T70. Raketten tries to get an insanely long shot on the universal carrier, which very unfortunately misses. Does need to retreat though. Sapper's trying to close the gap.
Well, Brenker getting a little greedy. I think it's going for the sniper here. Could get the sniper on retreat. And he's going for it.
Wow, he will actually get it as well.
He actually gets it, and with no raket warfare, no Faust, that Brent carrier can actually get away now. Unless he leaves himself in front of the MG42, but very well played from Isildur.
Yeah, a really, really impressive push there. And we, again, every game we've seen from Isildur has been some kind of great push like that, which has always been decisive. Last game it was against the Katusha, it was at the start with the cappings. Plays that very, very well.
Yeah.
With this T70, I mean, this has got to be threatening to them. How are they reacting to this? Got the Lukes coming out for...
Oh, he attacked grounded right where he thought the mine would be. Very, Actually, how did he know the mine was there? I guess maybe he saw it while he was laying it or something.
He must have seen it.
Because he doesn't have any sweepers, so...
That was interesting. I didn't even see that he was going to go for that. Straight in the path of the Raketten. Raketten looks like it has issues tracking. Actually, it's on hold fire. And just to get one long shot, but this is a tough situation. Even with the Panzer II out, T70 is going to reign king for a while.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Axis, especially with this triple VP cap already. And Hans and DevM knows this is the final game. If they lose this game, they lose the series, so they're going to need to pull out all the stops and not give 1 inch of territory or VPS control to the allies if they need to.
They were doing one thing very well last game, which is when the situation did kind of tend to dip a little bit, they would focus very much on the VPs. And I think it's even better as Axis if you kind of employ that tactic early on. Like I said though, careless play there with the Panzer II looks from Hans results in an AT grenade. T70 remains unchallenged, constantly just picking off infantry at distance. I'm really surprised that maybe we don't see a mortar here, because there's a lot of green cover on the other side that the sniper really wasn't able to deal with on its own. DevM
has rebuilt the sniper, and I think so far, in terms of superior sniper play, Vonasten is on top. He's already got 17 kills 10 minutes into the game on his Soviet sniper. DevM has also just queued a second motor for the infamous double motor strat on crossing. Not a bad idea. And looks like a good Axis push on the left. Going for the AT gun, which is vulnerable. No T-70 to support. Khan's trying to rush in, but a bit too late. Brand Carrier could also go down to the Panzer II, and I believe it will.
Oh, he's not going to push.
Oh, no, he's actually going to let it... Wait, what are you doing, Hans? You could have killed that Brand Carrier.
I'm really surprised to see that. Maybe he thought the T-70...
There's absolutely no AT over there right now. Why isn't he still pushing with it?
I don't know. I mean, he knew the T-70 was there as well. You can see that fire. I think it's a very odd decision.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't just... I guess maybe he was paranoid of a flank or something, but I mean, he had that side secure.
He uses a Volksgrenadier as well on a late retreat. So, not sure what really just happened.
I mean, maybe he thought Brits could have snares, but they don't. That's not an AT infantry section, so I think he just analyzed the fact that there was an infantry section there. Apparently, infantry sections can force Panzer IIs to fall back now. It's a new meme.
Well, if anybody knows that the Brits don't have the generic snares, it should be Hans.
Yeah, you would think as a, religious Brit player, he would probably be aware of the fact that that infantry section cannot snare him as much as he thinks it might.
Well, I guess this is the thing with top-level gaming. Even the pros do make mistakes.
Well, maybe it's just the pressure right now, and he's just trying to play as safe as he can, I guess, to prevent a loss from happening here, because this is their final game. If they lose this, they lose the series, so maybe he's just trying to be as cautious as possible.
We're going to see a unit come on the field now. It's been very, very good in some of the previous games. So a lot of indirect fire today do very, very well, and Hans clearly keen to get his own back for some of Vonasten's sickening indirect fire play in the previous Crossing in the Woods match. Here comes the first shot.
Oh, Stuka clears the AT gun.
Gets a very,
good
very
job
good
from
hit.
Hans.
Lux has a little bit of false confidence here if it goes in. Needs to be very, very careful. I'm pretty sure that AT gun can be recruited by the sappers there, and the Centaur is hanging around to stop any infantry pushes.
That Centaur, though, it's going to force the Panzer II back.
Oh, he needs to be careful as well, because we've already seen him drive over mines, and the
what
Centaur would have no
the
problem.
T-70 just killed the other Teller mine that was in the same place as the last mine.
What?
Without any sweepers nearby. What? Like, did he see that again? I guess maybe he's just
maybe we're missing something.
There. I don't know. It's just seems weird how he knew that a second mine was laid there, but
who knows?
Maybe I just missed, them seeing it through the fog of war while other engagements were going on.
It's an interesting one. Yeah, could have even had recon mode on, seen it. I guess can't really speculate on it right now unless we've seen it.
Yeah.
So, nevertheless, if he's doing it the right way, then good on him, because he's getting great results out of ground attack. Nice UR there. They're trying to get the flank on the MG, going to test DevM's micro. Is he to be able to target the other conscripts? Trying to get in close, but both squads are suppressed. Axis happy to push up through the center. DevM could be pushing forward, trying to get a Faust on the universal carrier.
Oh, good rifle nade on the infantry section in green cover. He does drop flares right on the Vet 2 motor. The sniper's still there. Oh! That poor motor just got hit on directly by the Brit infantry in the base. The Brit already in the base. Like,
the artillery actually hit
never
the same
seen it
spot
be that
twice.
accurate before. Yeah. Ooh, Centaur taking some nasty shots from the Rakettenwerf on the left. Luckily, the last shot misses.
Well, it's 15 minutes in. 200 VPs have been lost from Hans and DevM already. Clearly struggling here. And Isildur Vonasten, look at this. They're actually correctly sweeping mines on the left side.
Good sweeper usage.
It's okay to push in. And it will push in, and it could even go and get the Stuka, which didn't fire a particularly great shot.
Yeah, doesn't get any kills. We now have a Stug on the field from DevM. Hopefully he'll be able to use it to such great effect as Vonasten has the game before. Should help counter this T-70 and Centaur on the left. And right now the biggest issue for Axis is just VPs. They're now about to be under 300 VPS. And they need to get at least one VP under their control, or else this is going to start getting heated in terms of VP capping.
Steve, just like you thought, already taking some great long shots against the Centaur. Raketten might be able to sneak one off as well. Force the Centaur back a little bit out of this engagement. Hans having to jump on the center VP. VP's absolutely crucial now. 288, already 16 minutes in. They're not really giving themselves the late gamers access they're really going to want.
Ooh, infantry section taking some good motor rounds on retreat. Just barely gets away.
Could be a good opportunity
Wonderful
here for the
push.
Loops to push in.
Yeah, he can definitely. The Centaur is still there, so it will be able to keep the Panzer II from getting any closer.
All he wants is that Faust on the T-70. Hans does get it.
Ooh, a flare was dropped right on the Rakettenwerfer on the munitions point to the left. Artillery coming in on the point, doesn't hit anything.
Now this is one of those, I mean, at the moment, HelpingHans, DevM, they're both on the left side. They're trying to just stem the flow of VPs draining for them. But will Vonasten and Isildur retaliate?
Hans might need to be a bit careful here, leaving his Rakettenwerfer, because it's still taking artillery fire, but artillery does stop now, finally. And good push from the Axis. Hans was able to decrew the Vickers and also get away with a steal of it, and decrew the 6-pounder with his Panzer Fusiliers. Another Stuka goes down on the left.
Oh! Whoa! Big hit.
Oh.
And that is, do you know what, Von? I keep saying, like, you know, hiding units in cover positions is not always as preemie as it sounds, you know, because when those units clump.
They clump up, yeah. It's just, it creates such a horrible scenario when Artie comes down. If it gets
same with rifle grenades, if you don't dodge them. Fortunately, Isildur does dodge. We got a Katusha in the build. We had a tier 4. Really quick tier 4. Well,
not sure if that was the wisest of choices, going Katusha first. Might have been better to go maybe for a T-34 and SU-85. Especially with these Stugs on the field now, since DevM has 2 of them.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. I mean, I guess they're in a very good position. They've only got this game really to win. Maybe they're taking a risk thinking they can close early. It's one of these things, if you take your opponent for granted at any stage.
It's not to say that the Katusha definitely can't be useful in this scenario. It's just, I feel like it might backfire if the Axis reach critical mass on armor all of a sudden mid-game and then just rush everything. Because that's what happened the last game. The Allies failed to keep their armor advantage in check and then just got overrun from the superior group style of Axis. Ooh, Rakettenwerfer shot and a T-nade going off on the Centaur.
Oh, really like that. Really like that. We should see DevM start to spring into action with one of these dudes.
Katusha trying to get the Rakettens. Misses though. And they're sneaking up now.
That's sensible. I think he's playing sensible there. It's a good idea, but I don't think it's really the right time to be pushing. They don't want to make any mistakes. They'd rather just keep hold of any advantage they can get. I think they are starting to slowly recover. Here comes the super shot.
Coming in.
Great
hit. Almost get the guards as well, but wonderful play from Hans.
Wow, look how that he's gonna go for the AT gun. Is he that desperate for it? Yes, he is. Sniper's picking away. Sniper wants it.
Oh, is he gonna get it? Oh, he doesn't actually get it. The AT gun's gonna be able to go back to recrew itself.
Universal carrier still here on the right hand side, picking away at things. DevM is fed up of it.
Oh, here comes the Stug. He's angry. He wants that Bren carrier. I think he's gonna get it. Oh no, he gets the truck instead.
You could really tell the angle that he fired there. That was gonna happen.
And it shot through the Bren carrier with the Stug round. Bren carrier trolling around the Stug, and it seems to be cock blocking the Stug from getting the kill. And it looks like he'll be able to. Oh no! LMG Greds do get it on retreat, thankfully, saving the Stug from total embarrassment.
He was trying to stick his UC in the treads. I think, you know, may as well go down with some kind of a bang.
I think the crew of that Stug Gasuch probably thought to themselves, how are we missing Heinz at this bread carrier directly in front of us?
Well, I think, to be fair, that probably was explainable. The first shot is the angle, you know, getting caught up in green cover. That's trajectory.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Second
one,
little
units
truck,
moving, but it's like,
I literally saw the round either go through the Bren carrier or just, you know, touch the Bren carrier on the side, not actually penetrate it.
It's, I don't know. Maybe I'm just defending it too much.
I mean, it is one of the best medium tanks in the game, so it has a reputation it needs to keep if it wants to be well known as the feared Stug in action.
The thing I will say is Axis appear to be spending more time on the front lines than allies are now. We're seeing a lot of allies back in the base, a lot of these retreats like this. Another great Stuka shot. Taking down the guards, nearly! Oh!
Yeah, wow, that guard squad just getting away with one model. They do clear the Ziz gun on the left with the Panzer Fusilier squad. We now have an IL-2 coming in from Vonasten. Centaur, though, in the center might die to the Raketans, and it does. Well played from Hans on those Raket warfare pushes. Even in the face of IL-2.
In fact, even the last two series I've watched with Hans, and he's been very, very sneaky, just always taking two up at a time, getting them. I think the important thing as well is that you always see him get them within a good range before opening up.
Yeah.
So that they can get those second shots off. That SU-85 came out pretty much just at the right time. Will the guards button this?
Stug's going in for the gangbang on the Firefly. Firefly doesn't know what to do. And it was just upgraded with tulips as well. Horrible loss for Isildur. Man, Fireflies this series have just taken such a beating. I feel bad for them.
They haven't been.
You know what's funny too, Stormless? The Stugs, if you click on them, they have 6 infantry kills total. And they're supposed to be only counter-vehicle tanks, not counter-infantry.
It's not the weirdest thing I've seen. Do you remember the occasional Raketan taking down the sniper? Maybe even Soviet AT. That glorious.
Oh, I have a good instance where a Raketan warfare I once had almost one-shot an entire clumped penal squad in cover. That was a fun time. Ooh, a Panzer goes down somewhere.
That was that was the Stug.
Oh.
Stug just died. A lot of indirect fire going down, to be honest. They got another Firefly. That was the replacement that just came in. SU-85 is taking the center, and Axis capping a lot of the resource points back. Managing to deal with the sniper play very well, too.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be better to get a Cromwell than a Firefly after that Stug rush that just occurred. Because at least with the Firefly, you have the smoke round you can use to prevent the final kill off of any type of Stu push from being successful.
You know, we've still got that telemine on the right-hand side. I wonder if this is a point where we could see it at all.
Well, at least Vonasten doesn't know there's a telemine on the field point, so he does clear the Grenadiers on retreat, which is unfortunate for DevM. But yeah, kind of a weird position to put the telemine. I mean, I guess he's anticipating tanks trying to run over infantry there, but you don't see that a lot on this map, so I feel like that was a bit of a misplacement.
Yeah, I think because it was right at the start of the game and there wasn't too much contest on that side, I think he thought the light vehicle was going to just rush in there, but the play just wasn't on that side of the map. It confused me as well. You know, at this stage of the game, 200 VPs for Axis, they are holding it. Interesting point, they are really, really holding it. Looks like allies start to fall to pieces a little bit, but they have got some vehicle presence on the field. They've got some squad wiping capabilities.
Definitely. We now have a Panzerwerfer from DevM and a second Stuka for Hans. So seem to be mimicking what they were dealing with last game. Katusha, great rounds on the double Grens trying to go for the center VP.
I saw that DevM's trying to be really sneaky with the sniper. He was trying to go for the stun shot and take both of these models down at once.
Uh-oh, sniper getting a little too close for comfort with these infantry sections. We'll be able to back away though.
Could do some damage with the stun round. I just don't know if he really wants to.
I think maybe he's trying to go for the counter sniper as well, the Soviet sniper.
Wow, is that Su-85? Ground attacking the... Oh no, it's going for the Lukes. wow, 18 center goes down.
These Stuka barrages by Hans are definitely paying off. We just cleared the 6-pounder.
Yeah, and they've got great vision. I think the sniper is giving out this incredible vision for him to use that so accurately. Panzerwerfer's coming in as well off the back.
A little bit late on the Panzerwerfer. Could have shot it a bit farther, but he does get a free 6-pounder out of the whole ordeal, so that definitely is a disadvantage.
Might pick up a vet-free guard squad as well. I mean, these are conscripts running away. Been used to merge.
Oh, we've got a Pioneer with Sweeper. Does see the mine on the right TP. Firefly exposing its rear armor to that stolen 6-pounder. Ooh, second Panzerwerfer barrage. Great hit on the Soviet infantry.
Can't believe they're managing to turn this around in the way they have done. I think we said this at the start. The decision for like the Katusha and stuff so early. I mean, they had a really significant advantage. They didn't roll it on. They just kind of tried to tech too quickly, maybe.
Well, it's fine teching quickly. The problem is getting the right units out for what the situation encompasses. So if you get like Artie, that's more of a defensive unit than an attack unit, unless your opponent's going full Blabberino 24/7.
I do just want to say that we saw a mine planted again in that position. It was spotted by Isildur, so if anyone does at a later point question what he's firing at, we know.
Oh, counter snipe might go off from the German sniper here. He does get one model, can't finish it off though. Stuka though! Oh! What? Did he just cancel his Stuka mid-barrage?
I think he must have moved it or something, because...
Yeah, he either moved it or... Yeah. Could have killed that sniper if it kept going. I don't know why he did that.
Waste of a Ju-87 as well. I'm not really sure where the Ju-87s are headed for. But the
Centaur just takes out one of the planes. Probably going to take out the other one in a second.
Try and
he does. Rip.
I'm a lot of stuff back in the base here. This Firefly just kind of awaiting repairs, not really doing anything.
You know,
2 squads of guards.
Vonasten
all conscripts. So wait, are you seeing this? Where are the guards in these guard squads?
Oh, Jesus, yeah, I just noticed he's been using merge ability pretty heavily on these squads. There's like only one guard per squad. That's insane. But, you know, definitely good cost-efficient use of merge. Also, Raketten on the right-hand side just got decrewed. Probably going to get stolen by the conscripts here. Actually, why aren't you grabbing the AT gun? It's the free 6-man Rakettenwerfer. Is he taking it out? Oh my god, he's taking it out with the centaur. What is he doing? He could have had a free AT. Oh, actually, he's not. He's just leaving it there. Not sure what that was all about. Could have had a free Soviet Raketten.
Well, we were talking about the game where players start to lose it a little bit. And
I think, yeah,
this one's been confusing, to be honest.
Fatigue seems to be kicking in for both teams here.
Wow. Ooh. Wow. Wow! Ooh. It's 2 Katyushas.
MOG Katyusha kills by Hans with the Stuka. Now Vet 3 with 28 kills, 2 of which are vehicles. And I believe this is the nail in the coffin for allies with that salvo, ending any type of artillery support.
I just kind of feel like both teams were fed up with the intensity of the matches, so they just decided to go for long-range indirect and see who could win. DevM here, he's trying to get that counter snipe. 1 unit off. I think if you'd used the stun ability, I think there's a chance you can get both with that ability, like 2 models killed with it. Maybe worth using that, given that it's such high accuracy. Look at this, there's just no movement. There's really
They're just stuck in their base right now. I mean, what would be a wonderful idea is if Vonasten, if he could get his T-34 all the way around to the back of the battlefield and rush all of this armor in the center that we see here, Stormies, you could get some juicy kills.
Well, trying to make moves on the right-hand side. At least they are trying to push VPs back.
Yeah. We now have...
They're in an unfortunate situation anyway, because if you remember, actually the VP counts, like 294 and then 18, they were very low, so if Hans and DevM win this, it's very likely they'll get the selection for the 5th game.
Yeah, strafing support coming in from Isildur. It's a few good shots out. Forces armor to pull back on the left. And I think DevM doesn't realize his Panzerwerfers are still in the circle of strafing support. He could actually lose a unit if he's not careful. Assault artillery going down by Hans on the cutoff point where the Cromwell is.
This is so desperate from Vonasten. He's actually trying to go back lines. Gets the
Stuka. Oh, here comes the push I was thinking of. The T-34 just killed the Vet 4 Stuka. He's going for the Vet 2 Stuka. Could get it. And he does. Wonderful play from Vonasten there. He could actually ram that Stuka. I want to see at least one ram before the end of the series.
IL-2s nailed the infantry back in the base there.
That poor Rakettenwerfer.
Still signs of hope, but they are losing a lot at the same time. The Centaur, I think, just drove over the Telemine in the right. So after all this time, there was actually some benefit to that. Looks like he's sending the Stug over there to deal with it. AT needs to set up. Got support from the Su-85. Luke's is blocking it. Oh no.
No. Rakettenwerfer takes out the Stug. Oh man. This is not good. X has just made a serious foul. And now the overextended Panzerwerfer just gets killed by the Firefly, or the the Su-85, I think. Makes the vehicle Vet 2. Ju-87's coming in, but this is just a horrible, horrible play. Or a horrible situation for DevM and Hans. They just lost 3 of their artillery pieces out of 4. in one fell swoop with only one T-34 to bargain in the process. And this is what I was thinking of. If you get that good pushing and there's no mines to prevent it or Faust, it's horrible what the results will be.
Wow, after so much
He's
indirect fire,
DevM
so
is
many
now
models lost it.
suiciding his second Stug in the center, possibly. Does go down to the 6-pounder and Firefly.
This is madness. Seriously, I mean, I'm surprised that they're still going it. Why wouldn't they just wait back and kind of recoup a little bit before making these pushes? Now there's a Cromwell that's chasing in, and again, nothing is left in the center. Cromwell should be able to
sniper
chase
could be detected. And it is. He could go for the sniper, but he's going for the Panzer II instead. Could actually get the Panzerwerfer at the same time. Earlier on, this Cromwell actually killed the second Sturmpile Hans had in his army that was vetted. Oh, Panzerwerfer. Oh, gonna have to be careful with your micro. No, DevM, you're not supposed to. Oh, you're supposed to. It can't shoot through the base HQ. If you just left it behind the base HQ, why would you micro it in front of the Cromwell? Oh. Now they have no artillery whatsoever. This is just a horrible setback for Axis. That Cromwell could just go to town until the Rakettenwerfer can get in position. Heck, if he puts it behind the tier buildings, he could just keep poking damage at him, which I think he is going to do. Pop smoke, which is smart. Katusha, oh, Hans, Katusha was overextended. He could have 18-ended it with the Panzer Fusilier spot to the right, but forgets. I think the fatigue is really setting in for both teams now. So you can just see it from the way...
You don't say!
From the way this game is going. In fact, the Axis had this in the bag until they literally let their artillery get eaten alive, and now they just, I mean, just have a Panzer II and a Panzerwerfer on the field. Like, how do you let that happen?
I think the important thing is that everyone has lost a lot. Do you know what I mean? It's not just kind of
like
one...
well, not just a lot. I mean, they've lost over 90% of their entire armada that is crucial for victory in this game.
Yeah, it's... What is that there on the VP? That's not a demo charge, is it? No.
Which VP? The left one?
The left
no, that's
one.
A drop to Bren gun.
Oh, I can see it now. I was wondering what it was that I couldn't click. Alright, T-34, come out in the field. Vet 2 SU-85.
You know
pretty adept at taking on the middle and keeping hold of that.
Yeah, this Vet 0 Stug is not going to be able to do the job that the old Vet 2 Stugs could.
Can you see them fighting for the munitions here as well? I think this is...
yeah.
Munitions is
smart
going to be a
play,
big...
though. Because of... oh, wonderful use from the Centaur there of strafing fire on the Raketten. Axis seem to be really desperate now. I can't believe they let such a horrible situation occur for them. But on the bright side, guess what Hans is going for, Stormbus?
I don't know.
He's big, he's bad, and he's hungry for vengeance. It's Mr. Jägtiger, which will be coming out in 100-man power. So I'm sorry it hasn't come out yet. I was doing the pre-opening. I was
looking around them like, oh, am I missing something?
I was like I wonder if Stormbus will notice I'm baiting him with the introduction.
You can see the counter snipe DevM here. Lines up the shot. Gets the first one.
Should get the final kill here, and...
did you not? Oh, very, very long range. Does get the reward on it, though. Wow. I thought he wasn't going to make that. I was worried.
He gets it right outside.
About to go down in the center, Von. Vet 3, there's a lot of vetted infantry dying.
Almost Katusha's his own Vet 3 guard squad on retreat. Vet 3 motor does go down to the Centaur. Stug is trying to keep it back.
This is,
I mean, on the bright side, DevM does have most of his vetted support units on the field, but Hans, look at his army comp. It is very infantry sap. He's just got one Vet 4 Fusilier, one Vet 4 Bolts, a Vet 2 Sturm, and 2 Rakettens that are unvetted. But he is going for the Jägtiger, I'm pretty sure now. So if he can micro this Jägtiger, well, that could bring him back into the game. But the biggest issue right now is the VPs. They need to cap a VP, or else this is going to be bad for him.
setup's going to be horrendous. Oh, IL-2 wiping Grenadiers there. Another capping unit down. Veterinary Mortar needs to retreat. Hands on the right-hand side, we're going to see, is it going to be the Jagdtiger? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I think this deserves a lead-in, to be honest, because this is even flashes up 100 points remaining. Jagdtiger on the field. This is really last stand stuff. This has to be a big unit.
Jesus Christ, Hans just loses his Fusilier on the right-hand side, desperate for that VP cap. But Big Daddy Jagdtiger's coming on the field now to see if it can take a few pot shots at the weakened S285, which is falling back. Centaur, though, in the range of fire. About to get a delightful introduction to the Jagdtiger.
If he decides to fire.
Could, yeah, there you go. Should be able to wipe this Centaur if gets the final shot off, not moving. Oh, just barely gets away with still their health.
Yeah, Stu could have tried to take a shot there. Jagdtiger again with all this sight. You can just see, wow, look at that. Allies are just having to recoil back into the base.
Synchronized push by DevM and Hans of the Stug and the Jagdtiger there.
Look at this, Katyushas, they're trying to stop this capping on the center. They get another squad. They get another squad of DevM's Grenadiers.
That poor Grenadier.
They are trying so hard.
There are no more vetted Grenadiers for DevM here. This is...
Oh, look at this. Look at the pathing issues in the base here. The Stug goes for the Centaur first. Has the opportunity to get the Katyusha.
Oh my god. Gets the T-34. Oh, he could just kill everything in this base. Where's the 18 nade, Vonasten? Where's the 18 nade?
Why is he going for the...
Oh no, you go for the... Screw the S285. Go for the Katyusha. I don't know why he decided to go for that. I mean... The Jagdtiger can take care of the S285 easy, just not the Katyushas at such a range, you know? Unless they overextend.
I'm so on edge right now, bro.
This game, though, like the funny thing is, I don't even feel like it's been a long game. This felt like 5 minutes to me, to be honest. That's because I stream CoH2 for like 5 hours on a daily basis, so I'm used to this fatigue, but I could just feel Hans and DevM after 4 hours straight of back-to-back intense gameplay. You can just see how both teams are reacting in such a marvelous fashion to each other.
They definitely seem to have picked up a bit, and to be honest, after watching this, so have I. I can't even believe, just think about what's going through their heads right now. There's still a game 5 on the cards.
Yeah. It's all down to the VPS here. Whoever can camp these VPS better are going to win this game, or the series itself. That Jagdtiger just minding its own business, taking deflections from the 6-pounder like it's the king of beasts in terms of armor. Can actually get a shot on the Centaur at the left-hand side.
If Jagdtiger decides to put a shot up.
The allies are desperate for camping the VPs now. They know if they let the Axis use that Jagdtiger to great effect, they are going to lose this game.
But need to be careful with the Jagdtiger though.
That is true. He is overextending it a bit.
Don't want to push too much, and I actually don't think DevM got the message that the Jagdtiger has retreated. He's going to continue to push.
No.
Don't know how I feel about that.
Stug is getting a few good shots off on the Centaur, but will need to fall back with that Firefly shot. Actually goes down to the flanked 6-pounder, well microed from Isildur, taking out the Stug. And DevM now has absolutely no armor to support this Jagdtiger, just the Panzerwerfer.
They're trying to get the triple cap on. Only Raketten on the right-hand side. I wasn't in a good position to block the cap, so Pioneers discover that immediately.
Yeah, the good news is for Axis, they now have all 3 VPs directly under their control, and they've stopped the ticker down to 62 VPs in favor of the Allies. So as long as they can keep these VPs defended and use that Jagdtiger to great effect, they should be able to hopefully eke out a victory in this hopeless situation.
I'm still not sure that they're retaining it well enough, because when they're taking the VPs, there's not much of a defense. We've got minefields here. I think it's terrible positioning of a minefield to catch off units from the north.
the best minefield to be laid on a BP by DevM. Panzer 2, Vet 5, no, goes down to the 6-pounder stolen by the Soviets. DevM is actually building a second MG42 to try to defend these VPs. They're desperate for better defensive support weapons.
Wow, allies, they want this. Just look at the map. They're trying to go on all three fronts at the moment. Nothing to defend against Centaur and Firefly on the left. Panzerwerfer tries to get some shots in the mid to stop the recap.
Oh, Cromwell going for the... Oh my god, stolen Rakettenwerfer. Takes out the Panzerwerfer, and this Cromwell can go for the flank on the Jagdtiger. Sniper trying to cloak itself away from the danger of it. There's a Rakettenwerfer there to support, but Hans needs to get that Faust off, or else that Jagdtiger can go down to the Cromwell if he's not careful. He will be able to, and I think... Oh, as long as this Rakettenwerfer does not miss, yes, he is able to secure the Jagdtiger, but it took a shot from the Firefly. Might actually go down to the T-34 flanking here, and it will.
Great flank. That is exactly what they needed to get this game locked down and secured. Without that, really, can Hans and DevM come back at this point?
Oh, they are desperate for those VPs. They're trying to put everything they can to cap it. One MG42 does get decrewed. Uh-oh, the Axis need to get anything they can on the VPs, or this is a loss for them.
I don't see it, to be honest. I really don't see it.
No, I think this is game over.
Too. It might be game over. It might even be tournament over. Isildur and Vonasten right on the verge of winning the UTT.
And after such a good... Like the last two games, Stormless, they had it in the bag both times, but then they just let so much get destroyed in the process, and it's just so sad to see the ending for this.
Absolutely, everyone's throwing everything they can into the pot.
Calling in an officer to try to get the cap in, but too little too late. And good game well played to Isildur and Vonasten, who are champions of the 2v2 Ultimate Team Tournament. Congratulations. And a great series to end on.
Wow.
Wow.
That was messy. That was a very messy game, but
yeah,
that was
very messy.
To watch.
Both sides, it was messy.
You know, you have to you got to hand it to them for putting on a great finals. Games 1 to 3 absolutely phenomenal. Game 4 is entertaining as hell. But there we go. All that it is 3-1 in favor of Vonasten and Isildur. We will just have a quick